Oh. Hello, welcome back all you lovely beans out there to another episode of What Does the Fox Play with Phoenix Firestar. Hey, let's get back to training here. Yeah, I just had to, get a short little break in to take a nice long hot bath and everything. And I deserve it after a hard week's worth of work. I do a lot more than some people give me credit for. Not enough on this, but enough in other places. It's not gonna do me any good to fight a Ditto. I'll be there like all day. Yeah, slower my attack, it won't do much. I had a bottle of water sitting around here somewhere. Where'd it go? There it is. Wish I had a better attack to be using here than Takedown. Takedown does quite a bit of damage. I just hate to use moves that damage my Pokemon. I'm just glad most Pokemon seem to evolve in the 20s in the Sinnoh, or in the Johto region. How are you and your Pokemon doing? Pokemon have too much energy to burn. It gets to be a problem. Of all my Pokemon, Weedle is the hardest to handle. Working with it is exhausting. Oh yeah, while Bellsprout got away from me at the last second. I know it's a common Pokemon, but it does annoy that it got away when I almost had it. Ah, jeez, another one of these. It's just gonna run away from me. Pineco is the one that goes on, that lasts for a while. It goes all the way up to level 31 before it evolves. I contemplated just working on my board game some, since I really need to get to work on that. I could not focus on it. It just felt like it was a very daunting task going forward. Like, it might be a bit of a rocky week when Scarlet and Violet release. I'll be streaming as much as I can, yes. However, I'm not sure when I'll be able to fit those kinds of streams in. I'll see what I can do to probably help this issue. I was like, wait a sec, I think I might have like a pair of like tweezer grips. I might be able to like shut them using. Hopefully that helps it. Core's probably been pulled a few too good times too many. See, I've always really liked Shuckle. My friend, though, or my cousin, rather, he likes, I'm trying to think. Is it Fortress he likes, or is it a different one? Defensively, I think it might be another one. No, it could be Fortress he likes defensively. Maybe like some kind of grip or something that can hold my Game Boy here. So I'm not so tempted to like grip it and jerk it around or anything. Well, let's see if moving up here helps out any. See, there's a bite, and what does tackle do instead? That's, I feel like it's quite a bit more. Good job. I've been considering one thing I might do is just start from scratch and make a couple new channels. Growlithe. Well, that was like one battle. I'm already coming out with lower than I'd like HP. So many sand attacks. Yeah, I'm back. How are you doing? It just ran. Oh, you can see over there, I got 41 total in the Johto Pokedex. 33 out of the 100 new Pokemon included in the Johto region. It's not terrible. Well, before I move on to Hoenn, I'm actually going to be doing Colosseum and XD Gale of Darkness, and then doing Hoenn. Because I was like, I just did Kanto with Pokemon Yellow. I didn't really want to do Fire Red and Leaf Green to get a lot of those Pokemon that are not available otherwise in Gen 3. Yeah, I posted. Well, it's nice to see I'm actually showing up and recommended. I would be, I feel like I'd be kind of like in the same boat if, like, I never showed up under anyone's, like, looking for or recommended. I mean, I'm pretty sure I don't appear on most people's. But it's nice to hear I'm appearing on somebody's. What? What button is that? Ah, I see, that's what it is. Yeah, see, what I'm using is like, my OBS, to watch. I'm streaming to simultaneously YouTube and Twitch at the same time. So chats from both are funneling into my OBS chat dock. So the emojis for YouTube were just showing up as like colon chill W cat colon chill W cat and the such. So I wasn't quite sure what was going on. Um, I'm not really sure. I don't usually try to leave the numbers going on Twitch to see how many viewers I have going on. I just try to talk and riff without worrying about who's there and who may or may not be. Like, I know I don't get enough viewers on the regular right now to, like, know I always have someone watching. I'm not sure how many I got on YouTube. I got 31 subscribers on YouTube. I got like 78 followers on Twitch. See, my issue comes in is like, I got people who will follow me, but I guess they like turn notifications off about me or something. Yes, thank you, YouTube. I know I'm streaming. Thanks for coming in late there. Like, I don't get enough people. Like, I guess, like, they have, like, my notifications, like, shut off or something. But they don't always sync, I guess, with when I'm streaming. So I don't get a lot of these people coming back to yeah, I knew you could set up like some kind of like watch, so it like automatically blocks stuff and everything. So yeah, I just I kind of just let it be. I don't worry too much with getting the Yeah, I mean, that's kind of typical for Pokemon, because, like, you're gonna run into the ones with the higher encounter rates a lot. I just need something that my Sunkern can actually damage, so I'm not sitting here for 2 hours. Yeah, thankfully Sunny can drink this Jigglypuff. I mean, Ghastly wasn't as good until, like, Gen 4, because, like, all of its attacks were physical. But it was definitely built as a special fighter. Yeah, it is, I always found it kind of interesting, though, that, like, for the longest times, I felt like the Pokedexes were, like, emulating what the Game Boys looked like, or the Nintendo handheld consoles. Speaking of the fold phones that are out now. Yeah, it's probably best with the grass types down here. There's less fire types. Well, I mean, the Rotom phone is the Pokedex now, and you can actually change the skin on that one in the new Pokemon game coming out, Scarlet and Violet. And you can get special cases if you've played previous Pokemon games. Yeah, I've seen a bit of him. I definitely go with his philosophy of, well, what's the point? I was like, if I'm gonna eat food, I want to enjoy it. I don't want to eat healthy if I'm not gonna enjoy eating it. rather live the life I'm living rather than trying to make it last longer and not enjoy it. Can't say I know anything about him. Like, I know Jeff Dunham. And I know... I can name, I think, maybe like all 4 of the Redneck Comedy Tour. But only really cared for 2 of them. I kind of fell into that slump a long time ago, like, as I was just getting into, like, being like, oh, cool, famous people. I started realizing that all of them were just awful, terrible people the majority of the time, and then I was just like, oh, so why bother at all? This isn't fun. Why do I want to follow and get to know this person if they're just going to disappoint me? So now I more like know them by the individual roles. I hear go, hey, the insert name a person who played this, and I'm like, who? I'm like, oh, they played such and such. I'm like, oh yeah, I know that character. Otherwise, yeah, I don't really know them. Like, some of them I can definitely, like, start to recognize. Like, by name, but those are slim and far between. Like, Robin Williams and, why is his name escaping me now? Jim Carrey. I could generally recognize him. It's a very, very small list. They either have to be like that eccentric for me to recognize them. Like, honestly, I would like to see Jim Carrey play the Riddler again. I honestly enjoyed seeing him play that. Like, one of the farthest I can go in that usually is, hey, I recognize that voice. I think they might have been this character. That's usually the most I know of most famous people. The Batman, the newer one. Um, it was interesting. I mean, it was definitely better than Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, which I think was like the worst movie ever. Which I have said repeatedly. No, I know, they brought him back in the second one. Because they did a second one. Yeah, they did Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice. And then they did Justice League. And they even did the Zack Snyder cut for it. Just the whole movie was just awful. I mean, the Justice League was better than Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice, but that was the one who was the Joker in The Joker, right? Where he wasn't really the actual Joker. Oh, the animated series for the, DC stuff is really good. Like the animated movies and everything. Oh, that Joker? Yeah, that Joker was very popular for the whole, why so serious and blowing up the hospital and watch me make this pencil disappear. Yeah, the Joker was good in that. I liked those movies alright. They weren't spectacular or nothing, but they were alright. It's just, I have not liked the DC live action movies for the most part for a while. My biggest issue usually just comes in the idea that with like the Batman versus Superman Dawn of Justice movie, they try to shove too many plot points into a single movie. I mean, that's part of it, is that they've done the Batman and Superman origins so many times over. But, like, the big part about it for me is it feels like they're bored of their own characters and they're trying to play catch up with Marvel. And it's just not going to work that way. They need to take their time and do it right. Oh, don't even get me started on the Disney Star Wars. Like, the series are okay. I liked Rogue One, alright, I guess. Everything other than that, just terrible. I went and I watched the first one in theaters, and I came really close to walking out on that one. Because I was sitting there looking at it, I'm like, they sold me the same movie. I've already watched this. They just gender bent the characters first off. And then they gave me a main character who was instantly good at everything she tried. Which is my problem with Superman most of the time. I don't like to be handed a character who's just... they are the solution to all problems. There's no character arc there. Like, it's different when you're looking at, like, young Superman and the story's more about him trying to be human when he's not. But this was girl hops into a spaceship for the first time and outflies trained starfighter pilots of the Empire. Picks up a lightsaber for the first time and beats a guy who was trained for years to use the lightsaber. Oh yeah, Book of Boba Fett is great. And I love that they brought Cad Bane in there, because like he was great. I loved him. But like after that, then like I gave the second Star Wars movie a chance that Disney put out, because I was like, well, at the end of the first one, they brought Luke back. I was like, maybe Luke can turn this around. Right, I mean, that's why Maul lost. He essentially won that fight, dropped his guard, assuming he had already won, and paid the price for it. He's like, I killed the master, what's the apprentice to me? The apprentice is hanging on there for dear life. Dropped his lightsaber, he's got nothing. It's just like, you know, they made Rey instantly good at everything. And it takes her like 10 minutes to divine a new force power and master it. And then people are like, I've had a few people try to argue with me, but Luke, I'm like, no, did you see the numerous times Luke has failed? Or they had to preset him up as having been trained or being good at something for him to be able to do it. Because that's the only reason he took down the Death Star, because he had practice as a star pilot and flight training and aiming at very small targets from a ship. With Rey, it's, oh, this is the first time I'm in a starship. Flies it perfect. You know, and then they just go and they ruin Luke's character. And the Disney ones, like, I get you're trying to pass on the mantle to new people, but you don't have to trash the old characters to introduce new ones. Oh, Yoga would have helped Darth Vader tremendously. But no, and then, you know, they completely retcon the fact that Darth Vader was saved. By, like, having the helmet of Darth Vader. Oh, I know. But having, like, the helmet of Darth Vader talk to Kylo and egg him onto the dark side. But not once did, you know, Ghost Anakin show up and be like, snap out of it, you're going through teen angst like I did. This is not the path, it does not work. You turn your little Sith nut right around and go sit back down. You'll get over your teenage angst. Like, I can get, like, the dark side of the Force can cling to, like, locations and objects. But I'm pretty sure it was an oversight to be like, oh yeah, Vader's helmet is controlling the actions of Kylo and guiding him. And they had Leia and Han name their kid after Obi-Wan. And I'm like, How long did either of them know Obi-Wan? And they named their kid after him? No, in the books it made sense when Luke named his kids after Ben. It made more sense. But then they gotta turn around and go, oh, Leia and Han named their kid after Ben. I'm like, why? Leia knew stories of Obi-Wan from her father. Not counting the whole retconned Obi-Wan series where he has a whole dealing with Leia when she's younger. It's just, I don't like Disney coming through and trying to retcon everything. Especially when they had the gall to throw out all the extended universe stuff, which was very good material to begin with. It had already all been like pre-approved by George Lucas and put in this big, nice, fancy book called The Complete History of the Star Wars Universe, which I have and own. But then they had the gall to be like, well, we didn't have a lot of source material to go with. Yes, you did. And that was when she was super young. She probably would have forgotten about him by then. Especially from her reaction on the Death Star, where she's like... Or not on the Death Star, but like... When she was uploading the message into R2-D2 and she's like... My father told stories about you, how you helped him in the Clone Wars. Not just the comics, like the actual books. Like, I would have loved to see like... Mara Jade and... I forget her actual name, but her nickname was like Iceheart. She was like a high-ranking Imperial officer, like one of the few women to be high-ranking in the... And she came really close to taking over the Empire after the Emperor was killed. And she was cruel, mean. She was a great villain. And like... They could have done the whole redemption arc where they had Han and Leia go to Tatooine on a rebel mission where Leia finds out who Anakin was because all she knew was Darth Vader. And that is what makes her decide to actually have kids, because she'd worried they'd turn out evil like Darth Vader. But after she learns who Anakin was before he became Vader and what turned him to the dark side, that's when she finally decides to have kids. Which does involve the return of Boba Fett as well. So I feel like they could have done, like, the first Disney movie be, Luke forming the new Jedi Temple, Leia and Han going to Tatooine on that mission and finding out about who Anakin was, and Leia coming to terms with it and deciding to have kids. Right? She didn't have a reason to name her son after Obi-Wan. And then the second one could have been Leia and Han having had their kids, whose names are like Jane and John, and they have a third kid who's younger named Anakin. They could have had it about, the twins they had first, and them joining Luke's Jedi Temple. And there you have your new antagonist right there, ready to go. Like, I get you don't want to focus on Anakin's story anymore. There is plenty of other stuff in the Star Wars universe to focus on. But no, you want to ruin the universe as it was established. No, I don't think Jango was an actual Mandalorian either. I'm pretty sure Jango was actually raised by Mandalorians. Because otherwise, Boba would have also been technically a Mandalorian, just a clone of a Mandalorian. But yeah, they could have used that first one to introduce the fact that Jango was still alive, or that Boba was still alive. I mean, they almost ripped that whole, Book of Boba Fett surviving the Sarlacc pit and everything from the books and added some of the Clone Wars animated series to it. But honestly, I would love for them to go back and go, Obi-Wan, snaps awake and he's young again. And it's because he actually smoked the death stick, and everything after that was just a hallucination induced by the death stick combined with his Force foresight. So he's able to stop Jar Jar Binks from ruining the universe and sending it down the darkest path. Oh no, I did a fake silly theory of why everything happened in the Star Wars universe, and it was because Obi-Wan uh, convince the guy not to sell him a death stick and that he could do better. So he goes to sell to a higher clientele and ends up selling a death stick to Jar Jar, making it much easier for the Emperor to manipulate, setting into motion the fact that therefore everything terrible happening in the universe is Obi-Wan's fault because he wouldn't buy a death stick from this guy. That's just been one of my little goofy, I know it isn't actually that way theory, but it would be funny if it was. Making something very important of like one of the least important characters in all the Star Wars universe. The Death Stick guy. When he made him go home and rethink his life, he realized he could be selling to better clientele. Thus setting in motion the end of the Republic and the rise of the dark side. And all the Disney movies was just Obi-Wan smoking a death stick.
Adiós, amigos.
But yeah, sorry, I've always loved the Star Wars franchise, but I've absolutely hated that Disney got their hands on it and completely twisted and ruined it. Minus, like, The Mandalorian, The Book of Boba Fett, and Rogue One was okay-ish. Like, I feel like if they just avoided trying to make main canon stories and just focus on side stories, they would be much better off. Like they did Star Wars Legends, rather than, you know, try to make things in the main universe involving the Rebel Alliance, the Empire, the New Republic, and all that. I mean, they even brought back the Death Star. Making its third appearance, never having once worked. It's the Death Star. Yes, I've seen plenty of those, and it's like, every character... The only thing that Rey has really gone through is, she was abandoned as an orphan on a desert planet to be raised by some other dude. And that was pretty much Luke, except at least Luke was related to the two people who are then murdered, but no, she just runs away from home and throws a fit. Like, I like Disney and I like Star Wars. I just don't think they deserve to be together. They're not a good fit. Ugh. I know, they're like, let's just make another Death Star, but bigger. That will definitely work. There's literally so much they could have worked with. I mean, like, I didn't even necessarily like that they brought it back a second time. But no, instead they gotta do it the hard way. Like, I think in the books they did have, like, a massive battle station that they built inside of a planet or something. Or it was, like, a satellite. And then they threw it into the middle of a gas giant so that no one could ever use it. Yeah, Starkiller was the name of the project in Force Unleashed that eventually got adopted as the name of the kid that Vader was trying to raise in secret to kill the Emperor. Which, where did all those stories go, too? I mean, like, the Emperor and Darth Vader kept raising students to try to outdo each other, to overthrow and replace each other. Only 2 Sith, no more, no less. Oh no, the game actually took it from from something else. I'm pretty sure Starkiller was in the books as before that as a space station or something. That was like a giant satellite. That Jaden and Jan Solo threw into the sun. Or not the sun, but into the middle of a gas giant. I think that was also called Starkiller. It existed in the books, and then it was made into the movie as the name of a project to clone a Force user. And then they're like, it's another battle station, another Death Star, just bigger. I mean, but Force Unleashed was never meant to be canon. But also kind of trampled on the whole idea of clones cannot have the Force. Which was a canonly established fact. Hello, Juan. I mean, I don't think that a clone trooper or a stormtrooper, because those are two different things. Sort of, in some cases. Not all of them, but in some cases. I mean, this is Gen 2, so there's no Rayquaza here. Eventually, when I get to Gen 3, yeah, I'll catch a Rayquaza. Yeah, the Stormtroopers are a little different, because some of the Stormtroopers were clones, but not all of them. That was the Gen 3 remake, so it wouldn't be in this. Yeah, but Mega Evolution and stuff is not one of them. Yeah, because they were allowed to have a larger market. If they could sell in more countries if they didn't have the casino there. I don't think one can see your chat. My chat goes through Restream, which winds up on my OBS, so I can see both chats. But I don't think your chat will appear in the other streaming services chat. But since I started streaming to both, I like to give people the option of going to whichever one's more convenient for them. Because I know some people prefer YouTube, some people prefer Twitch. Honestly, when it comes to just straight up gaming, I prefer Twitch. But so far, honestly, neither of them have done me much favors in getting me out there. Yeah, if anyone has any spoilers about Scarlet and Violet, I would like to remind you, please do not talk too much about them. Like, I will maybe say you can stretch it to anything that Pokemon Company has officially put out, nothing beyond that. I know one reason why people made a big reason about the whole new Disney Star Wars is because Kylo Ren was from Indiana. I lived in Indiana, so that's all people ever talked about for a long time. Oh my gosh, he's from Indiana too. He's so famous. He's actually in a Star Wars. It was kind of like with A Christmas Story, because it took place in Indiana. People are like, oh my gosh, this is the greatest Christmas movie ever. And I'm like, No, it's not. It's mediocre at best. And the fact that they play it to nausea makes it worse. Alright, he did have a cool looking lightsaber. I just didn't like that he threw tantrums constantly like that. It didn't make him that big of a scary villain character. It was kind of just more like, I get it, you have teen angst, calm down. Put on your headphones, go listen to your death metal in the corner, and talk about how much better you know everything than everyone else. Go write your depressing poetry. But yeah, he his lightsaber looked good, his character looked good. They make it so hard to like him as a character, either as a bad guy or not. Like, the worst acting villain ever I can like for being a terrible person.
Daddy, you want some nerds?
No thanks. Are you gonna stay in here and play Pokemon with me for a bit?
Huh?
Wanna stay here and play Pokemon with me for a bit? Oh, Leon,
What?
don't stick that on my head. Stop.
Okay, fine.
I do like that people liked, like, Captain Phasma. She had, like, the same level of like as Boba Fett, someone who was, like, in the original movies for all of, like, 3 lines in, like, 5 minutes. She had, like, the same level of popularity and everything. I have a feeling almost that, like, people liked her because she had risen so high in the Imperial ranks as a woman, and you didn't see a lot of women in, like, the original Star Wars in the Empire with a higher rank. So I think it was, like, a level of respect not necessarily that she was unique, because she was essentially, in the end, a gender-bent Boba Fett that worked for the Empire rather than being a bounty hunter. I mean, her armor was the same as any other stormtroopers, wasn't it? It was just slightly different color. I mean, yeah, I'll give you the little cape over the shoulder is a fashion choice, and I do like it because I'm into the whole, like fantasy medieval knight capes and stuff. Well, that's neat. I think I just have plain Xbox controllers for the most part. Like, I did have, and it was one of my favorites for a long time, was a Kingdom Hearts controller. That's wired. I still use it on my Xbox once in a while when I'm playing a game that can use a wired controller. Because I don't like using the keyboard and mouse. I don't know. I still feel like in the end it was like she was on screen for all of like 5 minutes. And had like, I think she had a couple more lines than Boba actually had. Yeah. Like, she was the head stormtrooper, and unfortunately, stormtrooper just didn't mean a lot to me with how terrible they seemed to be. Apple knows what you really mean. Whew. I know you don't. I'm just giving you a wee bit of the business. You don't tell Apple what you mean. Apple tells you what you mean. What are you talking about in Russia? That's here. Whew. You might think you own it, but you're just renting it from them. Every other week when there's a new one, you trade in your old one so you can get another. iPhone, Uphone, we all scream for iPhone. Brought to you by Apple. Um, I forget what. Oh, double standards. It has to do with double standards. It hits everyone. It's kind of like that scene in the Deadpool movie where he's like, is it sexist if I shoot you? Is it sexist if I don't? You see, me and my sister, we went to go watch Endgame, or not, was it Endgame? No, it was the first one, Infinity War. No, Endgame was the first one, I think, right? Well, me and my sister watched it, and we immediately were like, okay, we need to see something funny now. So we turned right around, went right into Deadpool, and felt so much better after that. Oh yeah, in one of the original Deadpool comics, they did actually describe Deadpool as being a cross between Ryan Reynolds and a Sharpay. So I think it's great that they managed to get Ryan Reynolds to play Deadpool. I don't know hardly anything about Beyblade. I just remember it was one of those things where I wanted to get into it and then just never did. For several reasons. Kind of like how I wanted to get into Capsule Monsters. And then never did. I can imagine that Stumble's one of those ones better in the later generations when Bite and Crunch become physical moves. There's quite a few Pokemon who didn't really start hitting that point until Gen 4 when they did the physical special split. Wait, why did he try to run from this? I can actually hit this.
Daddy,
Yes.
what type is Lugia?
Lugia?
Mm-hmm.
Flying Psychic.
How about Selby?
Celebi's a Grass Psychic. Stop the burping, Leon. You
How
know
about
better than to
Ho-Oh?
do that. Flying Fire.
How about that Pokemon that keeps on running away?
Suicune. Water.
Huh?
Suicune's a water type.
No,
Entei's a fire type. Reiko's an electric type.
this one.
Yeah, that's Suicune, water type.
How about TYR
Tyranitar, dark ground type.
LA RV I
What one? Larvitar, rock ground. Now leave those alone, Leon. He really just came in here to grab my papers and try to quiz me on Pokemon. He knows more than I know, at least. Which, I'm not a very good goalpost for that.
Daddy.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
how do I get
Alright, folks. Thank you all for tuning in. That's going to have to be it for tonight. I gotta get ready for bed. So I can work first thing in the morning. Well, thank you all for tuning in. I'll see you on the next episode of What Does the Fox Play with Phoenix Firestar? All of you have a good night. Oh, I don't know. Leon, what's your favorite Beyblade type?
I don't know what types there are.
He just watches the show, that's it. He doesn't know anything else about it too much. Yeah,
Probably fire.
I might... No, with tomorrow being Sunday, I'm not going to stream tomorrow. Tomorrow's D&D day. So unless D&D is canceled early, I probably won't do any streaming tomorrow. Alright, have a good night.
Can I help you